Hello, beautiful artists and art curious friends. It's Becky here with a nice mega mixed media art haul to share with you today. And I've been saving up all of my previous purchases so that I can do a nice unboxing video with you and show you what I bought, why I bought it, and how I intend to use it. I've got a lot of brands represented today. I've got Liquitex, Golden, Royal Talens, Cobra. I've got Amsterdam, Acrylic inks, Prismacolor, all sorts of stuff. So let's take a little look and we'll get started. Okay, hold up. Spending all your hard-earned money on all of the art supplies does not make you a better artist. Okay, please remember that I am a mixed media artist and I am a full-time art teacher. So I do have pennies to spend back onto art supplies. And I am getting a little bit of support here with all my fans and subscribers here on YouTube and on social media and with various color charts that I have up in my Ko-fi store. And I appreciate every single one of you for every piece of help and support that you have given me. It really means a lot. Okay, so why am I buying all these things? Well, I'm currently an art student with the Milan Art Institute and I'm doing their mastery program. I'm just about to finish the drawing and oils part of the course. And after that, we move on to mixed media, which seems to be largely acrylic and oil and other mediums mixed together. So I have a few gaps in my collection. I'm already very well stocked, to be honest, but I am doing okay at the moment. So I'm treating myself with a few things to bridge some gaps, and I'll explain what they are and why. So first up, I have the Amsterdam acrylic ink set here. Now, the only acrylic inks I have like a random pearlescent and a random metallic blue from another brand. So I want to try these ones out. And this set of 6, the colors included, let's see what color we have. Yellow ochre, primary magenta, titanium white, primary cyan, oxide black, and then at the time Dick Blick Art was doing a promotion where if you spent over a certain amount on Amsterdam acrylic inks, they would throw in a nice deep gold. So I'm quite looking forward to this. Now, acrylic inks, they are water-based and they are going to dry permanent and non-reactive to water, just like any other acrylic paint. However, you get a nice flow. So for your abstract backgrounds, mixed media stuff, all of your drippy bits, and even kind of like watercolor effects with acrylic, these guys are going to absolutely shine. So for all the items that I show you, I will put some Amazon links down below or any other affiliate links I can find for you in case you are watching this video because you're looking for something that excites you and you want to treat yourself as well. So everything down below that you need. I'm really interested at the moment in highly light fast materials. So I can see that out of this range here, just one, the magenta, the primary magenta, which isn't a surprise, is 2-star light fast rating, and the others have the 3-star. Okay, so these are going to be fun to play with, and I will let you know how I get on when you see what I make with the mixed media section of my education at the moment, and you'll see what I make with these. Saying that, if you do see anything weird and quirky and wonderful and you would like some techniques, I feel like one of the things I really have missed from the olden days of my YouTube channel is technique videos. So please shout when you see things and you would love to have techniques of a technique compilation or some kind of artwork that you can follow along with, some kind of tutorial. Tell me what you want below because I'm very keen on doing those again, but I have so much stuff that I just don't even know where to start and what you guys want. Next up, I have the Pebeo 4 Artist Marker, and what makes these unique is that these are not acrylic paint markers. These are oil paint markers. Now inside here, it contains some nice fluid oil paint ink, and that means that these are the only markers I think you can find that are oil based and will therefore go on top of oil paint layers. So whilst A lot of my work now includes oil paint. I'm going to struggle to put any fine detail layers or smaller mark making on top if I don't have oil-based markers. Other brands, there are a couple of other brands that do sell oil-based pens. They're not as common as acrylic paints at all. So they are a little bit harder to find, but I am a big fan of Pebeo just on the whole anyway. These do have a glossy finish though, so bear that in mind. I figured I don't care about that so much because everything's going to be varnished and end up with the same kind of finish pretty much anyway. But here's how I purchased this set. I bought the basic set here, which is the 5 colors you see, 3 primaries, a black and a white, and then I handpicked this assortment of colors to go with them. A nice orange, a couple of greens, a purple, and more of a cyan kind of blue as well. So these I figured will work really nicely for last layer mark making or any fine details in any of the paintings that I'm going to be making. So that's my oil markers. Speaking of markers, now whilst I do have a whole bunch of acrylic marker pens, I'm mostly a Posca pen girl. This brand came up on the recommended supplies list for my course, and I wanted to try them out because this brand, Krink, this is acrylic paint, but it looks very liquid and it's obviously in a slightly different format. It's very, very bountiful on the paint ink itself, and it comes with like a nice big dauber. And let me see if I can just show you with my big Posca pens how that compares. Now I don't have the Posca pen that has like the swan neck kind of thing on it, which has a similar nib to this, but just to compare with the PC7M bullet nib. Okay. And to compare with my big PC17K chisel nib, I'm going to have some options here. So I haven't used these yet. I will play with these and I'll let you know how we get along, but tell me if you need any comparisons or to find out how they are working once I get used to them. One thing I'm reading here is that it says highest quality inks and markers, New York City, with cap in place, shake well until thoroughly mixed, 60 milliliter, alcohol-based paint is permanent and opaque. So this might be even more interesting because I guess that's, yeah, that answers a few things. This is an alcohol-based paint. So I wonder if that means these would work amazingly on top of Ohuhu and other alcohol markers as well. Getting some thoughts here. Okay, non-glamorous item time. It's a pencil sharpener, but it is Prismacolor's pencil sharpener, and it has the 2 holes depending on whether you want to have a very pointed tip or a less pointy tip. But I only have an electronic, well, my favorite sharpener is the electronic one, and this came up on sale on Amazon, so that's why I just randomly just bought it one day because it was looking pretty cheap. So I'll throw a link down below. I figured it would work really well with their own pencils since they are notorious for breaking, but also if I want to travel or just have one somewhere else in the house and not use the electronic sharpener, I figured this would be a nice solution to that. Miscellaneous product time. So here is the Mona Lisa metal leaf. It's a gold leaf kit or starter set, if you will. I do have lots of gold leaf and I do have another adhesive, but when looking at this, well, first of all, this was the one that they recommend on my supplies list, but I haven't fallen in love with any particular foiling adhesive, and I certainly don't have a dedicated sealer to go on top. And when looking, this kit seems to come with the full-size bottles that you would buy separately, so rather than just buying these, it just made more sense financially to buy the starter kit to get some foils. And yeah, I'll see how I get along with this, but foiling is a big part of my artwork already, so I know this is not going to go to waste. Next, I have some Sennelier Oil Pastels, and these I actually picked up in store at the Dick Licks store up past Oakland, somewhere in North California, basically. And I picked up these 6 metallics, which contains aluminum or aluminium, rich gold, red copper, golden pearl, transparent blue, and iridescent white. I don't have any Sennelier oil pastels, so I wanted to try these out just for consistency to go along with my harder pastels, which is like the Neo Art and those kind of things, and Sennelier kind of like the Rolls Royce of the softer oil pastel. So I wanted to try them out, but figuring I don't really need a huge abundance of colors right now, I may as well go for some of the more special effect ones. So this kit I think was on sale at the time when I picked it up, so I thought that's great. And then I thought, well, I'm always going on top with white with my softer pastel, so I picked up a white open stock. And then I saw that actually out of all the metallics, my favorite one wasn't in the kit, but I bought open stock this one, which is reddish brown gold, which, I mean, just look at that. Oh, delightful. And then I hadn't seen this in any of my other oil pastel ranges, but this is medium. This is a transparent medium. So I don't know that I actually need this or that anybody particularly needs this, but I figured that if I wanted to do some blending and get rid of any grain on a particular patch that I want to blend into either my colored ground or into the paper, this would be the guide to do it. So I figured, or maybe it'll help to blend, I'm not sure. So I want to have a little play with that and see what the benefits of this guy are. But since I was there picking up some open stock stuff, that seemed like a good opportunity to grab it and find out. I have a thing. It's a silicone thing. I'm guessing it's a spatula for collage and for mediums, but it's a particular brand called Catalyst, and it's this one's the W06, but there are some other ones. It's very nice and sturdy, very ergonomic. It looks pretty well made. When I was looking at other similar spatulas online, there's a lot of cheaper options out there, but this one, I think, you know, it's a tool, so it's not too unreasonable to pay a couple of dollars extra and get something that is going to be pretty darn sturdy. Obviously, anything of this silicone type material is going to clean up pretty easily as well. So yeah, I guess you could, you know, you could also use a credit card or an old gift card, but this is going to be the tool now. So this is my smushy, scrapey tool. Spray paint time, and this one's funny for me because I never thought I'd ever use spray paint because I am a recovering asthmatic, and by that I mean I spent a few decades being asthmatic with inhalers and not having a very good time until I was able to, as an adult, work on some immune health and find out what my asthmatic triggers were and avoid them. So yeah, interesting case. Maybe I wasn't asthmatic the whole time. Maybe I just had asthma-like allergies and immune issues. However, I've avoided spray paints for the longest time for that reason. But these guys are water-based now. So rather than buying aerosol or solvency sprays, these ones claim to be safe to be used indoors. I'm probably still going to be a little bit of a scaredy cat and still take my paintings outside and use them. Outside still, even though they are okay for indoor use, I just want to find that out myself and not by accident. So I've got 2 brands to try. This is the one that most people are aware of. This is Liquitex, and I picked 3 colors that I know that I already love and will work well together. And those are, oh dear, why did I volunteer to say the name? It's that one. Phthalocyanine Green 7 Blue shade. Something like that. And medium magenta and cadmium yellow medium hue 5. Remember, if it says cadmium and then ends with the word hue, it's not really cadmium lead, it's just the color of it. So these seem quite good. And again, I picked ones out. I downloaded the color chart and I looked for the highest light fast ratings, and I got those. So I got the light fast rating 1 for these. And yeah, so I like those. And then these seem to be the newer kids on the block, but doing really well, like mural paint suppliers and all sorts. And this is the Montana colors. So I've just picked up black and white for now, but again, they have a huge range of cool colors with really cool names. So I'm going to try out their black and white and, you know, compare against how these ones feel and go from there. What Montana also do is they have a party pack, which is essentially a big box of a lot of their colors, but the cans, now let me check here, these full-size cans are 400 milliliters, and what you get in the party pack is cans that are so tiny they're kind of like less than half of a can or something like that. So when I looked at the cost per can, whilst it did look like a really great way to introduce myself to spray paint layers, I think I just figured that I didn't need tons and tons and tons of colors because all my artwork is layering. It's going to be layered up anyway, so the spray detail is going to be just a minor detail. I'm not doing full-blown artworks with just spray paint, so it was just better economy for me to just buy some cans individually full-sized and not have to go from tiny little ones. But yeah, that is also an option if you're looking at trying these out. And for these layers, again, like I say, so these make really good layers as a base before you put some acrylic. So if you're thinking about our layering chart, and now is this a good time to mention that I have for you free to download on my Ko-fi store a mixed media layering guide, and it tells you go from here, this would be like your base layer, and it goes down the list where you can start putting things, what will go on top, and then when you get to, you know, you don't really want to go backwards. Okay, so you want to make sure these are all your base layers and that you layer on top this way. But again, there's a link down below. You can find this on my Ko-fi store. And yeah, so acrylic paint, acrylic spray paint is still going to come under acrylic paint here. But what you can also do is you can layer thin to thick. So this would be kind of like a thin application, but acrylic, you can just keep layering and layering on top, right? So I would probably be doing this to get some color down, getting rid of the white, and then going on top with acrylic paint, and then going on top with my oil paint, and, you know, maybe some wax crayons or oil pastels in the process as well, depending how I'm feeling. Okay, so that's that. Speaking of acrylic paint, so I picked, right, so my acrylic paint of choice is golden, and it's the heavy bodied stuff. Golden also does an open acrylic paint, which does last a little bit longer before drying, but I just got used to these from the get-go, and I am very happy with them. And I do find with the heavy body that I feel like there's such a huge pigment load, and there is less, okay, so sure, there's a bit less open time, but I use a wet palette and it works very well for me. And you can also use mediums into your heavy body paint to make it, you know, slower drying time or more viscous, and get just a little bit more versatility if you use the right things. So actually I really like the heavy body, and I'm going to stick with it. This one's not in the box because this one I just picked up at Michael's, but I wanted to show you the goodies I got by buying a bunch from Jerry's Artarama. I haven't shopped with them before, but they had a promotion where if you spent over a certain amount on the golden acrylics, then you got this really cool 12 filbert, which filbert is my favorite brush, and an apron. Let's take a look at the apron together. I kind of already bought an apron actually, but you know, I don't have a golden one. Hey, that's fun. That's cute. See, look, and I don't mind. I'm a big fan of golden. Couple of pockets. I don't mind wearing their apron. Okay, colors. Now I'll explain my color selections for my acrylic paints. By the way, this is how Jerry's Artarama packed it. Just like Blix, they're really, really good at making sure you get boxed up properly before they put it in the big box. Okay. All right, now let me explain what I'm doing here. So if I show you my color charts of all my acrylic paints, I now have them arranged. So again, based on what I've been learning at the Milan Art Institute, I have them arranged by warm and cool. And this is the color theory that they swear by and the way that you get trained. You know, cool colors recess, warm colors come forward. It helps you build your form up. And then within that, we split out between transparent colors and opaque colors. So what I did is I took the color charts of where I'm already at with my color wheel, and then looked for the gaps. So in theory, so I don't see a lot of purple. I definitely don't see any purples here on the warm side. Blues is also a little limiting. Not too much in the green world over here. So there was a rhyme and a reason to all the colors I bought. I can't even remember which ones I bought yet, but hopefully it all makes sense when I compare to what I've got going on here. And then some neutrals. I do have some metallics and things already. And these, those were those acrylic inks that I bought and showed you a moment ago. Okay, so color wise, yeah, so there's a couple of convenience colors here. I have a nice light magenta and light orange because I feel like these are colors that I am likely to use with the thoughts racing through my head on where I'm going to go with my art style and what colors I want to use. I've got a bunch of purples now, so I've got that smalt hue, that light violet and that medium violet. Pyrrole orange and cadmium yellow dark. So you've got to be watching out for these ones because it's, you know, cadmium. And also golden are really good at just letting you know, don't use this in a spray. Don't do that. Don't drink the paint water. Otherwise everything's fine, really. You know, just be careful. Cobalt blue hue and turquoise phthalo. And when I pop these down, so you can see like there are clear gaps when you lay them out, as in cools and warms. You can see that there are definitely, yeah, I mean, I don't even have a warm opaque yellow. So yeah, you know, I had some gaps if I'm being really fussy and trying to make sure all my bases are covered. So that's why I picked all these colors. Again, what I do is I download the color chart. Oh, now golden. Oh, they have some fantastic resources on their website. I'll have to pop a link down so you can find them. Let me know if I forgot to do that. But they have a color mixing resource where you can upload a photo and you can pick out the colors in that photo, and it will tell you which paints to mix to get those colors, or which paints are just ready to go for those colors. It also has like color mixing, like honestly, just take a look if you like the golden paints, and it's for the heavy body. Okay, so again, check out some of their resources because they are being really helpful to customers now. And now we're in the realm of the oil paint selections. Now, if you don't know all this already, I am a water mixable oil color paint user because I just want to limit my exposure to solvents. Having said that, I am aware now that there are a lot of like plant-based and better options now for solvents for regular oil painting. I do use a little bit of that because these are still solvent usable. So I'm just playing it safe and sticking with the water mixable oils at the moment, which means I am limited to Windsor and Newton and Royal Talens Cobra artist line. Again, same reasoning for my color choices in the acrylics. If I pull up my color charts, I have them separated by cool and warm, and then I have them by transparent and opaque. So I was looking at my color wheels, looking at what I've got, and from experience now thinking, oh, I wish I had a color more like that, and made sure I filled some gaps, and then picked some colors that I just thought were beautiful. So I downloaded their color charts and I looked, kind of marked off the colors I had and looked for where there were big gaps as well. So if I just thought, oh, well, I really like, you know, I could get another 2 more colors or something, and I'm looking at where there's big gaps between, you know, one end and the other, I did go and fill that gap with a color that just looked beautiful. So yeah, they're all, you know, mixtures of transparent and opaque colors, but lots of convenient colors that I don't have, and ones that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using. So this chartreuse looks really nice to me and would definitely pop. I can see in occasions for that. And then obviously, you know, I found a 3-star light fast rated rose. So I thought, okay, it's hard to get the good pinks in acrylic at a high light fastness like that. Potter's pink looked really good to me. I thought, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. Some more purples and King's blue. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of treated myself. Regarding the whites, so one thing Ali Milan has said, I've heard her say quite a few times, is never to just use titanium white straight out the tube. It looks dead, basically. Like, it just looks flat and it doesn't have a nice appeal to it on a canvas. So it's used for mixing. So I thought, okay. So I went out and I've also added to my collection a zinc white so that I have an alternative white for when I want to have a white. But otherwise, yep, here's where I'm at with that. Well, thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I hope you found this useful, enjoyable, or just a little bit, you know, enabling. So go get yourself some nice things. You deserve a treat. And keep up the art. Keep up doing what you love. And I hope to see you again soon.